All right, everyone, welcome back. We're in the shop. My name's Anthony. This is my channel. Friday morning. You call it. So I posted a video about the Honda transmission for the second valve body. That Honda doesn't just sell the solenoid that was bad or the valve body. Neither does my transmission parts specialist in Camden, BTP. And that's what we use for hard parts for transmissions. So someone commented that they do, but they never commented back where can I get the solenoid? I don't know. I don't think we're going to see that car back. I think it probably went back to the auction. That was from my used car dealer reconditioned. So this big monster sloppy truck that's in here is another used car dealer vehicle. But yesterday we had another used car dealer drop off an Acura that the rack and pinion is leaking from the bearings and seals on the outers, right? So let me show you this. And sometimes I just like to rebuild the rack and pinion. So it was leaking under the bellows boot, and behind the bellows boot inside the rack and pinion is a bearing and seal. So if you have fluid squirting out of here, right, it's because the bearing and seal is wiped out. What wiped out the bearing and seal? Probably not changing the power steering fluid whatsoever. And oversized suspension components. Many different reasons why that happens. But if it's not leaking from every seal and gasket, right, why not just repair it? So we call Acura and say, hey, we want to get the bearings and the seals for the rack and pinion. And they're like, yeah, they only come with the rack and pinion. So, and it's actually less labor time to take the inners and outers off, service the bearings and seals, and fill it with fluid and set the toe and let it go. Instead of tearing the whole rack and pinion out, transfer everything over and put it back together. Keep in mind, we're not working on new cars. It's not, labor time really doesn't help you. You're talking about a 10, 15, 20, 30-year-old vehicle in South Jersey. So as much as I would like to like really display our mechanical skills here, like, you know, rebuilding Caleb's manual transmission in his Honda, rebuilding a rack and pinion and things like that, I really can't, because I can't get the parts or fix a transmission versus replacing a transmission. I don't know, but I figured I would just share that. Like, I want to teach these guys how to do real mechanic stuff instead of just being a parts changer, right? Because sometimes it's ultimately that's all you can be as a parts changer, and you're really not that skilled to figure out how to fix things. You know, we take things apart and solder cracked solder joints. We take things apart and solder in LEDs. We take things apart and solder in new resistors or transistors. And this is just some of the stuff that we do here that you're not getting anywhere else. Because they'll just say, oh, you need a new part, or hey, you need a new engine. You know, one of my master techs from Chrysler did a video yesterday and said, if you're at Cousin Pookie's and he sells you a Durman oil cooler, he ain't really fixing your car. The car was in there for a misfire and they sold him an oil cooler, and the customer thought that the oil cooler was going to fix their misfire. And I'm just giving you, third hand. The customer went someplace else, had an oil cooler done, the engine still misfired, they put an oil cooler on it, the car was still misfired, and they didn't go any further. And what he said is, in most cases, that shop probably told him it needs an engine after they charge him $1,100 for an oil cooler. And he's saying, if you don't know these engines, you don't know their things, you shouldn't really work on the car. He just said swallow your pride and send it to the dealership for guys that are familiar with, like guys like me too. Like, I would have identified the misfire, trying to figure that out before I went at an oil cooler and saying, hey, well, guess what? You got no compression in cylinder 2, which was an easier cylinder to identify on the 3.6. But what he was saying is, he could take this engine apart, one cylinder head, replace one cylinder head without replacing the whole engine. It probably cost you just as much as the dealer for a new cylinder head labor and time than it would be for a used engine. But used engines today are ridiculous, and so are labor times. But what he was saying is kind of what I'm saying. Real mechanic skills take things apart and actually fix the problem without replacing everything. So as far as the Honda, and Honda and Acura are the same, couldn't get the second valve body for the transmission. And the Acura, we couldn't get rack and pinion bearings and seals, local parts house or the dealer, and I'm not risking ordering crap online. You know, so now ultimately he's going to be stuck ordering a remat or used rack and pinion, and for us to stick it in and hope for the best. So it's just another struggle here because we're not flooded with the easy work that other shops are getting and screwing up, to be honest with you. And trust me, I would rather be flooded with easy work than rebuilding a rack and pinion or tearing a cluster out and making solder joint repairs or tearing through wire harnesses or even doing a timing chain job. So the Camaro that was here yesterday with multiple misfires on every cylinder, customer overextended his oil change after we already warned him with an oil consumption problem. Said it wouldn't run. He needs a mass airflow sensor. We won't install a aftermarket. We ordered it from the dealer. It does run with the mass unplugged, and I need to see what I get after I put the mass in. So we may be putting an engine in that Camaro. Like I said, we advise you, and you have to pay attention. That's all mechanics. We're all advising you what to do to your car, be it minimum or be it maximum. And if you want to take our advice or not, I mean, that's up to you. Or you go to you do what the guy with the Charger. He went everywhere and threw his money at every mechanic, and he couldn't get it fixed. He wound up here. He spent, I don't know, the car sat here longer than it took for me to fix it. But he wasted money on a 300 battery he didn't need. He wasted multiple diagnostic fees at multiple shops, including the dealership, when he could have just came here to my shop in Cinnaminster, New Jersey. But he just said he didn't relate to the M for real auto repair. That was his words. I didn't think of, not me, he didn't think of the N for real auto repair. And I was like, I guess he must have seen a video, or finally someone said, hey, you want a good shop? A guy that knows what he's doing. And he showed up here, and he absolutely got what he paid for. His car's fixed. He left here with a smile, because he knew as soon as he got in the car that he could duplicate no steer, just like I did. And I knew I fixed it. And I fixed it for almost the same exact amount of money that he paid for a battery that he didn't need at another shop. Because you know what they said? I don't know if this is going to fix it. What do you mean? Test the battery. If the battery tests good, you know it's not a battery. But you know what they did? Sold them the battery anyway. So they don't care about the customer. All they care about is making the sale. And that's facts. Why would you go someplace and ask for a battery, right? And then if you test the battery and say, hey, it's good, you don't need a battery, sir, it's not going to fix your problem. They did say that. We don't know if this is going to fix your problem because they're not the right shop. I had another customer in yesterday, first-time customer. He said he found me on YouTube. And we were talking back and forth, and we checked over his vehicle, and we found the under shielding where they do the oil changes is missing, like, I don't know, 7 bolts. And my house policy is you have to pay for new hardware to put it back together. And if you decline that and you want us to put the shield back up, we're just not going to do the job. So it's either the shield comes off and you're on your own, or you pay to put new hardware in from the previous shop losing it. Typically, bolts and screws don't rattle out, so I know what you're going to say. Plastic clips and things like that, yes. But most underbody shields for oil pan access aren't held in with plastic, most. And then we went through the recommendations for service, and you know, it is what it is. He approved the bolts and the oil change, and on his way he went. But when I was at the counter, I asked him, where did you go where they left parts off of your car? He really didn't know. Then he was talking about his other car that was a hybrid, and he went to another shop for an oil change, and they asked him why he had 2 fuel doors. And I said, didn't that ring a bell in your head that you were spending your money in the wrong place? No. He still spent money there. That just tells you the level of technician in other shops. Why do you have 2 fuel doors on a hybrid? And for me, I would be concerned, like, oh my God, I'm definitely in the wrong place. Like, if you come in with a dually diesel or a gasoline vehicle with 2 fuel tanks, and the technician who's working on your car is asking you why there's 2 fuel doors, it's time for you to say, thanks, but no thanks. I'm on my way to somebody else who knows what they're doing, who knows my vehicle. That's a guy like me. I would be beside myself. That is exactly what happened in my office yesterday by me trying to find out why customers are consuming auto repair in shops that, I'm going to say it, who suck. Their staff is not knowledgeable. They do crappy work. So on this truck, the exhaust system is a complete mess. Choose my location last. Makes no sense. You can't figure it out. But then once they stumble across us and see the knowledge, the experience, what we have to offer for repairs and maintenance above and beyond multiple different shops. Like I have a couple ace shops around here. A couple ace shops. I'm not saying anything bad about a couple. I have 2 that I know of. Maybe 3, because I don't know the other shop that well. They're absolute aces. Can do engines, can do diagnostic, and rebuild rear ends, can do it all. They're good guys. And I can reach Richie right down the street, and I can reach Dave right down the street, and maybe one other shop around me. Other than that, absolutely not. It just makes no sense.